Hello, Leo. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Leo is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment. Consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. And if there is anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I provide. And remember, Leo, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. Four of Swords. You're a very you're a very peaceful person. I think that in your life right now, you're trying not to rock the boat. You know, you may be trying to keep the peace with people around you. Okay, which means that maybe we're not so happy about everything that's going on, but we're kind of choosing our battles here. And you're somebody that may be right now choosing, like, not my battle, not my circus, not my monkeys, right? That you might be tolerating something, putting up with something because it's not worth the fight, it's not worth the effort. Okay. I think you're a very intelligent person, and I think that you know, you can see the future in a way. You know the consequences. And so we might be saying, I'm not getting involved. I don't want to get entangled in that drama. Maybe this is us really trying to stay away from drama. I feel like you're somebody that does breathing exercises. You know how to calm yourself down. You know how to prevent yourself from behaving in a way that you're going to regret later, right? You probably do a lot of meditation, a lot of stress reduction. So since we have a Four of Swords, which is the card of stress reduction, it must be implying that there is some stress around us somewhere. Let's put this card into a little bit of context, okay? We're going to use this Dove and Serpent spread. Let me switch our token out to our Leo token. We have the Death card, Three of Pentacles, Five of Swords. There's the stress, right? Anytime we get a four, we start looking for the five. Anytime we get a five, stress reduction. Makes perfect sense, okay? We have a Five of Wands. There's that fight. Damn, is this something I'm worth fighting over? Is this something that is worth the stress? Okay, or is it better to walk away? Here we have a Queen of Cups. We have the Chariot. Really the Queen of Cups is kind of taking part in an ending. Okay, we have a Nine of Pentacles, Two of Swords, Ten of Cups. Oof. Sometimes the Death card is about getting rid of things from our life that don't need to be there because they're preventing the good stuff from coming in. The Death card is saying we got to get rid of the old if we want to get the new stuff in. We got to get rid of all this, whatever's causing us the stress right now. We don't need it. It's preventing this dream life, this really positive, fulfilling Ten of Cups from entering our lives. So maybe it's not worth fighting about this. It's just a matter of calmly, politely, moving on. Don't want to get caught up in that drama. I don't want to have the drama anywhere in my life. I don't want to be part of it at all. It's not just something I'm going to put up with because I don't want to rock the boat. I'm going to try to be as stealthy as possible. I'm going to try to slip out the back door and say, see you later. I don't want it. Okay? It doesn't mean that you're avoiding confrontation. It means you're smart. Well, let's select the mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown, and we're going to set it down right here with Bubo, the mechanical owl, right there on top. We're not going to look at that card until the very end. It will tie everything together. It will give us the confirmation that we need at the end of the reading. If at any moment during this message you feel like you might know what that card could be, put your prediction in the comments down below. Let's use our intuition. Yeah. Okay, as we look around the room, 2 majors, death card, Chariot. Kind of like I'm hitting the road, right? The death card is a card of change, transformation, grieving, letting go, ending something. Something has sort of fulfilled its function in our life, and it's time to move on. There's no animosity, there's no hard feelings, it's just not working. I don't want the stress, I don't want to fight about it, but I need to go forward. It's like something has just simply expired. You got your cottage cheese in the fridge and it's past the expiration date. Okay, I'm simply going to throw it out and I'm going to make room in the fridge for the new stuff. It's a shame to kind of waste the food or whatever, right? And I don't recommend it. I try not to let anything, a lot of fruits and vegetables, right? Try to eat them before they expire, but we have to clear that room out of the fridge if we want to be able to place the good stuff there. If we want to go and find what is healthful for us, what is nourishing to us, and we want that in the fridge, sometimes you got to, you ever clean out your fridge? Find a lot of stuff in there, doesn't really need to be in there. Sometimes you'll find some leftovers way in the back. You'll say, what even was this? Doesn't matter. Not going to fight about it. I don't need it anymore. I'm clearing out that space because I want to fill my refrigerator with healthy fruits and vegetables, right? We've got a little bit of fire, and that's the reading in a nutshell. To fight or not to fight, that is the question, yeah. You got a little bit of water, good water. We have air and air and air, and we've got earth and earth. Okay. So the death card seems to be our battlefield position right now, position 2, and it's really this card of letting go. Okay, it's the card of allowing something to move into the rear view mirror, as you are, because this is what's in the rear view mirror, the 5 of Swords, the stress, the stressful situation, the entanglement, thing that's causing you the most mental trouble is behind you. Okay, or it's moving in that direction. The death card is about letting go, clearing out space for something good to come in. We have to be out with the old, in with the new. Clear the space in the refrigerator so that we can put the healthy fruits and vegetables in there. Okay? The idea, though, that this is gone and out of our life is maybe a little bit of a misleading assumption, because the 5 and the 4, what does that give us? The 9, right? And I think that if we choose not to do anything, but just to accept the situation and just keep the peace, we're setting ourselves up for 5 plus 4 and 9 of Swords misery, depression, anxiety. We will, and that's not, right? A 10 of Cups, that is not. It's a 9 of Swords. So just because we feel like maybe this is like out of sight, out of mind, what I don't know won't hurt me, it still will. Because this is us tolerating something. This is us choosing to just keep the peace. I'm not going to fight. I'm not going to get involved in the stress. I'm just going to pretend it doesn't exist. I'm going to ignore it. I'm going to retreat inside of myself and pretend it doesn't exist. That is a situation that will eventually ruin us. Okay, so this is very important that we don't ignore the problem. We move forward. We put the problem literally behind us in the rear view, which may ultimately require a little bit of fight, a little bit of assertiveness. Okay, we're not choosing to get entangled in this because that's not going to be fun either. But if we just ignore this and we just put up with it, well, that's going to be way worse. So it might be that a little bit of fight is needed. That fight of separation. That fight that's involved in us asserting ourselves, right? The 5 of Wands is a 5-fingered hand, reaching out and doing something, having an impact on life, making a change. From my own volition, my sense of agency, I have to sometimes use my power to take my life in a better direction. Reaching into the fridge, right? And taking out that old cottage cheese, throwing it away. I made a room for the new thing. Not just ignoring it and hoping that it goes away. No, because then what? Your fridge gets stinky. It's just bad news. Bad news. we have to do this Five of Wands activity, which is kind of reaching into our life and making the changes that we need to make so that we can clear this space out, get rid of the stressful, unwanted, dissonant kind of energy, and make room for that Ten of Cups coming in. Okay? Otherwise, we remain in this Four of Swords, and it's just like, I don't want to rock the boat. I'm just going to pretend it doesn't exist. I'm just going to retreat inside myself and ignore it. But it's still there. Okay, this is us really coming in and saying, get out of here. Okay, now it's really gone. Now we have true peace. That's up here. This is peace. This is truce. This is, I'm choosing not to rock the boat. I'm just going to say, everything's okay, everything's fine, but it's really not. Okay? This is real peace. That's the name of the card. This is just truce. This is saying I'm choosing to just tolerate something and I'm not going to cause a fight. Well, that we realize if we want real peace, we have to do the work necessary to assert ourselves to get rid of what this is, this entanglement that we don't want to have in our life anymore. I feel like we already know that we don't want this. The idea is whether we just put up with it and try to make the best of it, not rock the boat, or if we say, no, okay, you know what, I got to reach into the fridge and I got to take it out. I think your mind's already been made up that you don't want this entanglement, okay? The Three of Pentacles under the surface, this is the work itself. It feels like this might be something that's happening at work, or it might be something in your life is not functioning properly. This is the card of cooperation, that everything, everything is functioning in harmony and this thing is working. The machine is doing what it's supposed to do. I feel like it's implying that this is what you want. You were hoping that this would work. We had the intention of making it work. We saw potential here, but the idea is, it's not working. And sometimes we don't want to see that. We want to say, no, it's working, it's working. It's not. Okay? I think we had high hopes. I think that we did our best to harmonize with this thing. It's kind of like if I'm a Three of Pentacles and you're a Three of Pentacles, guess what? We get a Six of Pentacles. We get harmony, we get beauty, we get magic. But we didn't get a 6. We got a 5. Fell short a little bit. Didn't work out. Que sera, sera. I don't want to keep it in my life. I bought the cottage cheese with full intention of eating it. I didn't eat it. It expired. I don't need to keep it around still. I can say, okay, you know what? My bad. I didn't eat it. Should have eaten it. I didn't eat it. Or we bought it and we thought I would like it. Maybe I said, I don't like it. It doesn't resonate with me. Okay, fine. You know what? No big deal. But we have to be able to recognize that. And I think that you have. I think that you had the intentions of making it work. You tried your best. You tried to harmonize with this other thing, this other person. It didn't work out. There's more discord, more disharmony than harmony, more dissonance than resonance, and consonance, right? Resonating, vibrating with somebody. Consonance. Right? What we are feeling is dissonance. We're too different. We're vibrating at different rates, and it's just not, there's not a compatibility. And that's okay. All right. The Five of Swords, I don't know exactly what this was or who this person, I don't even know if it is a person, to be honest with you. But I know that it feels like stress, and it feels like drama, and it feels like an entanglement that you're going to be very happy to have behind you. Okay? There was an incompatibility, probably on the intellectual plane, that the communication wasn't there, the ideas were different, the methods and styles were different, okay? And instead of just putting up with it and saying, I'll make the best of it, no, I think we're doing that very difficult thing of controlling ourselves and in a calm, assertive way. We sort of have Saturn in Leo here, right? So it's like we're restraining ourselves. I'm not just gonna get angry and all this stuff. No, but I'm gonna stand up for myself and say, no, you know what? I'm sorry, this didn't work out. We're gonna go our separate ways. I'm doing something different. Okay, we're picking our battles here. I think this is a worthwhile battle. Okay, by going through with this ending now, saving us a lot of grief later. Because remember, this lingers, it becomes a 9 of Swords. These two cards, they stay too close to each other, and this is us putting up with a situation that we just say, well, maybe I can put up with it for a while and it'll be okay. That while turns into a long while, and these two cards fuse together and we get misery. We get depression. Okay? It becomes terrible. Okay? The animosity grows. The anxiety grows. So we end something now before it reaches that point, and it's kind of no harm, no foul. We get rid of the cottage cheese that has expired before it ruins the entire refrigerator. I mean, it could get really bad, right? The future position for you is the Queen of Cups, and this is a card of endings, where the next step for you is to feel how you feel about this. You know, to look back. We're not just cutting something off quickly and saying, okay, I'm done, now what's next? No, we're allowing ourselves to feel something about this. We can feel bad, we can feel good, we can feel relief, we can feel all sorts of things, right? There's no feeling that's bad. It's like, oh, I feel happy that this person's gone. I shouldn't feel happy, right? I shouldn't feel relief. I shouldn't feel pleasure. I shouldn't want to smile that this thing's out of my life now or that I'm gone from that situation. Well, why not? Right? Why not? Maybe we're feeling a little bit guilty that I didn't eat the cottage cheese or that I didn't like it. I feel like, nah, I should have liked it. I didn't like it. I feel bad that I wasted food. You know, that's not a good thing. So we can feel those feelings too. If we feel a little bit of guilt, that's fine. But what if we say, you know what, I'm glad it's out of my fridge now because now I can find something to put on that shelf that I will really enjoy eating, that I will really like, that'll be good for me, that I'll feel happy to have in my refrigerator. And that's a silly example, right? But it illustrates the point. There are no feelings that are bad feelings. We have positive and negative emotions, right? It's our evaluation of our kind of physical state. And what we're doing is we're lifting the veil of the emotions. We're allowing ourselves to feel however we feel about this. You feel overjoyed. You want to dance and sing on the mountaintops that this thing's out of your life. Okay. Doesn't mean you need to do that necessarily, but we can feel that feeling. We can admit to ourselves, yeah, you know what? I feel so much better, so much relief that I'm away from this. We don't want to feel guilty for feeling good, you know? We're adding that kind of guilt on top of it where we feel a certain way, and then we're feeling bad for feeling that way. Maybe this whole thing is that, you know, you feel like you were expected to like this, and the fact that you don't, it's making you feel bad. So not only do you feel bad in the situation, now you feel bad for feeling bad. It's compounding this negative, vibe. Whatever emotion we feel is okay, is good. Even if it's a negative emotion, even if it's an aversion to something, it's still good. There's nothing wrong about it. There's a reason why we're wired the way we are. There's a reason why I feel how I feel about things. And it's important that I accept those feelings. Doesn't mean those feelings are correct. It's not a matter of right and wrong. It's not logical. It's not rational. It is what it is. I feel how I feel. I don't like it. I don't like it. Maybe if I want to do the work and find out why I don't like it, or where I learned to not like it, or if I don't like it because of it or because of something else that happened. I know somebody that they don't like any kind of orange food. Yeah. Doesn't matter if it's carrots, oranges, what else is orange? Whatever orange foods there are, right? Cheese, I guess. They don't like anything orange. They say, no, I don't like orange food. Okay, why? It's not the food. There's some other issue. Something happened when they were kids where they were forced to consume. They're forcing down some kind of orange food, and they ended up getting sick, and it was a really traumatic experience for them when they were little. And now anything orange, yuck, nope, not gonna do. I can't eat orange stuff. I'll vomit, right? And I know somebody like that. Sadly, that gentleman is no longer on the physical plane, but we were very close back in elementary school anyway. Rest in power, George. Anyway, the idea is that, we can figure out why we don't like things. The fact is we don't like them, and we may have an aversion to particular things in a very general way. Maybe we're kind of painting with really a broad brush here. But this is all natural for you. Okay, we don't want to compound that negativity by feeling bad about something. We can get to the bottom of it, sure. Find out, and maybe that's kind of the important emotion to process here as we're ending this thing. Right? To understand why I feel a disharmony with that thing, that person, that food, that place, that job, or whatever it is. Okay? That book, that painting, whatever it might be, right? But I think the first step is to lift that veil and to admit, yeah, I don't like it. I don't feel good about it. And that's okay. Then we can kind of go deeper and we can try to process the ending. See, that's what the queens are doing. They're processing the ending. This is how we deal with something that's now exiting our lives, or we're exiting it, right? The way I look at the queens is a group of ladies at the movie theater. They're seeing the same movie, but as they leave the theater, they're all having a very different reaction. The Queen of Cups is, how do I feel about that movie? That movie really moved me. That movie taught me a lot about myself. I'm going to be feeling these feelings for a long time, and I want to feel all those feelings. Oh, why was I so sad when that happened with that, thing? Why was I so happy when that scene happened? Or what are these feelings I'm feeling, And what does that tell me about me and my relation with that narrative, let's say, of that movie, right? Whereas the Queen of Wands is just cutting something off really fast and saying, I'm done, what's next? It doesn't really process the feelings. In fact, for the Queen of Wands, the feelings are antagonistic. The Queen of Wands does not want to feel the ending of the movie. Just kind of says, well, either maybe they left the theater early even, but they're just like, okay, movie's over, what's for lunch? They just want to be busy doing, where the Queen of Cups is going to feel this for a long time. So there may be a lingering emotion for a while after this for you. And that's okay. That's more than okay, right? It's natural. You're not trying to hide it or suppress it. You're lifting the veil of your emotions. You're radically accepting yourself and how you feel about this. And maybe it's going to linger for a few days. Maybe it kind of feels like it's a Band-Aid that's slowly being ripped off. And that's all right. Let the process happen for you, okay? Because we're making room for that 10 of Cups. Now, Path of the Serpent, we're going to talk about these cards. By the way, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. These readings are free. It really helps the channel. That's the best way to support the channel, by the way, is subscribing. Okay? There's a good portion of you folks, I think it's probably 55 or 60% of you that watch this channel on a regular basis but are not subscribed. So if you could do me a favor and hit the subscribe button, it is totally free to subscribe, and that'll really help the channel in this whole YouTube universe. All right, I appreciate you. Your general energy is this Chariot. This is position 7. It's the persona. This is kind of the way other people see you. Objectively, this is what it looks like from the outside. It looks like you're getting in your car, you're driving away. So it may look like you are, you're sort of avoiding something, or you're running from something, or you're abandoning something. And if you feel that way naturally, and you kind of feel, and that's something that you're processing, okay, that's not a reason for you to stay. This is a card of loyalty, a card of commitment, a card of family. This is the card of being in service to something and really having that sort of obedience to something. And it may be very difficult for you to walk away from something because you feel a guilt. You feel something that's kind of pulling you back and saying, no, my guilt is keeping me in that 4 of Swords. And that's why it takes an act of will for you to get in the car and drive away. And as you're driving away, and you get to wherever you're going, you can still feel that guilt. You can still feel that pull, that kind of like feeling, oh, I feel like I've abandoned this. I feel like I sort of walked away from something that was challenging, or I ended that relationship or that friendship, or I quit that job, or, we sort of, we feel bad about doing it. And it's okay. Those are your feelings. Those are your feelings. But guess what? You're still in the car. You're still driving toward your destiny. You're still driving away from what you don't want to be a part of anymore. It's how we're dealing with the endings, okay? And that's why this card in the spread, this is the very center of the tarot table. It's right in the middle of the frame, right? This is the axis mundi. Yeah. This is the axle of the wheel. This is the galactic center around which every other card is swirling. How you feel about something ending. You feel so guilty about something ending that you end up staying here when this is not where you want to be. This is going to cause a massive misery in your life. This is doing yourself a major disservice if you stay here when you know that this is not working for you. Okay? So it's all about how you feel, and however you feel is how you feel. No one's telling you how or what to feel. But I think you know that you have to, despite how you feel, you've got to do the difficult thing. You've got to get in your chariot, and you've got to continue on your journey toward your 10 of Cups, your best life. What is in your best interest right now? What is going to fulfill your soul? What is going to give you the satisfaction and fulfillment of a life well lived? And you can still feel how you feel, but you're still doing it anyway, okay? You're not going to let these emotions sort of prevent you from doing what you need to do, separating yourself from something. The 9 of Pentacles in the environment, this is a card of gain. This is the card of progress. This is you really driving down the road. And whatever decision you're making here, the decision to walk away, or to leave the movie theater or whatever, or to get out of the relationship, or to make the change, whatever changes you're making in your life, putting this stressful thing in the rearview mirror, you're going to be able to very objectively judge the correctness of that choice by the progress you're making. As you see the 9 of Pentacles, the gain, the progress, physical, financial, mental, emotional, spiritual, creative, expansion and growth, as you see the visible signs of progress, you're going to be able to say, okay, I must have made a good decision because my life's getting better. I'm making progress in a particular direction, and that means that my decision to leave this thing or to put it behind me was the right decision. Because the emotions, this is a swirling depth of water. We're going to go through all sorts of emotions here, okay, as we process something ending. That might not be the gauge of whether or not did I make the right decision. Well, how do I feel? Well, one day I feel good, one day I feel kind of guilty. Well, that's not giving me any kind of a clue. We're going to see the truth, or we're going to feel the justification of our choice by the progress we're making. The proof of the pudding, right, is in the tasting. Yeah, when we see our life filling up with better things, things that are rich and nourishing and purposeful, right? That's when we're going to say, I made the right choice because my life's getting better. There's progress. Things are expanding in every dimension of your life. This may be a physical choice. It may be something we were incompatible on the intellectual plane, right? The communication wasn't there. We had different ideas and it just didn't work out. We couldn't find a way to sync up and harmonize. That's okay. Walking away from something, then I think we're going to enter into more situations where I'm harmonizing and I'm resonating with other things, and there are good things that are coming in. Visible signs of progress. Okay? We're seeing our chariot getting further and further down the road toward the happiness, and that's going to justify our choice. The 2 of Swords is a card of choice. Represents the specter, the fear, worry, and concern. We're afraid that we made the wrong choice. Well, as we see up ahead, our 10 of Cups getting closer and closer and closer and closer, that's going to tell us I definitely made the right choice. Okay. We're going to get closer to those things in life that are fulfilling to us. Closer to things, have more things that feel good, that feel like they're nourishing our soul. It's going to justify the choice. And all the doubts are going to go away. This is the card of real peace. And I think this is different than the Four of Swords, the truce, saying I'm just going to tolerate something and put up with it even though I'm not okay with it, but I don't want to rock the boat. Okay, this is now I've rocked the boat as little as possible, but it rocked. And now I feel so much better. I feel relief. I feel at peace. I'm sleeping so well at night. Sleeping like a baby with this card. Because we know, we see the proof in the pudding that our choice was the right choice. And we get our fulfillment, 10 of Cups, all the love, all the satisfaction, all the fulfillment that we're after, the dream come true life. We can't get closer to our dream life if we're stuck here. Okay? And obviously the nine of Swords, right? A 5 plus a 4, that's us losing a lot of sleep at night. I'm not sleeping at all. I may not be rocking the boat, but I'm certainly not at peace. Here we are at peace because we're driving right toward all that good stuff. Right? All that love, all that beauty, all the satisfaction, all the fulfillment. I could force myself to eat that cottage cheese, but it's expired and I don't like it. I don't want to eat it. Right? Here is us nourishing ourselves on what is healthy and what is meant for us. Yeah. Let's look at our mystery card over here. Position 11, the guide, represents the voice of the silence within you. What is your higher self telling you? What is the voice of the wisdom within? I think it's going to be a card that says go. I think it's going to be a green light. I think it's going to be the Wheel of Fortune. I think it's going to be an ace of something. It's going to say go. Yeah. If you have a prediction, put it in the comments. Let's see. 4 of Swords again. To me, it feels kind of like, a go, right? It feels like, well, because it's the same card as this, right? So it feels like we haven't gone yet. Feels like we still are in need of this go energy. Maybe we have not made the decision yet. We haven't put this plan into action, that we're still currently in this stage of trying to just be okay, trying to accept it, trying to just live through it and not rock the boat. I don't want to cause problems. I want to pick my battles. We're right back where we started. But we see this whole process, and now it comes back full circle to this idea of, what are you going to do? You know? So I think we went through this journey and we saw the potential. We saw what's going to happen, what we might go through, what our experience of it could be if we choose to not just tolerate something, but to assert ourselves and make the changes we need to make. Okay? So we took you on a little vision, and now we're right back to reality, the situation before you. We've got to decide what needs to change. Okay? Now we're going to do an extended reading as well. We'll do an I Ching hexagram. We'll do some oracle cards. There is a link in the corner. There is a link down below. New readings for Leo, usually on Tuesdays and Saturdays. Bonus reading for you. I can see why we needed it. Yeah. Be sure to watch both of your other readings. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Leave a comment and let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. And we are all in this together.